This One's Wife. Bombing in America. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Narcissists like to be popular. Popularity translates to demonstrating that the various appliances, people, are under control, and the expression of popularity, enthusiasm for the narcissist, praise for the narcissist, adoration or admiration for the narcissist is all delicious, pure, positive fuel for the narcissist. There is no threat to control. The narcissist can bask in the provision of the delicious fuel that comes flowing from 1, 10, thousands, millions of admirers as a consequence of this popularity. The expressions of popularity, testimonials, the provision of the outcome of a poll, all of that is something that the narcissist can triangulate other people with. They can point to their popularity, use that in order to denigrate somebody, use it to manipulate an individual. See how popular I am, you're not. Read it and weep. See how popular I am, you should do my bidding. After all, my fans won't like it if you do something against me. Thus, the narcissist ties in their popularity with a threat. The narcissist that is this one's wife aches to be popular. She believes that she is, although there is evidence to the contrary. But as you know, her narcissism deals with that by simply dismissing any form of criticism by regarding it as baseless and invalid. Irrespective of the well-formed opinion or the evidence in support of such criticism, her narcissism just shunts it to one side because her narcissism tells her she is popular, she is loved, she is wonderful. From time to time, there is a stark reminder that this one's wife is not popular. It might be, for instance, as we have seen in respect of the launch of With Love, Meghan, where it was roundly panned by critics, or the appearance of her podcast, which again resulted in much ridicule and criticism. As I've explained before, were she popular, people would be more likely to give her a pass. If you're talented and unpopular, you can get away with it because you have the inherent talent. If you're not particularly talented but are well-liked or well-loved, you can get away with it. But for this one's wife, she has a massive problem. She's neither talented nor liked. Yes, there are pockets of admiration, but they're far outweighed by the individuals that don't particularly care about her or actively dislike her. And once again, her sense of entitlement and importance takes a battering as a consequence of a new poll that has been released. David Charter, writing in the Times, reports, "The Duke of Sussex is the second most popular member of the royal family among Americans." Well, that sounds like a good start for Harry, doesn't it? However, this is no good for this one's wife because she's not the most popular. Harry is behind his brother, the Prince of Wales. YouGov found that 56% of those asked had a very or fairly positive view of Prince Harry, and 21% a fairly or very negative opinion, which places him surprisingly on plus 35%. Prince William, in top place among living royals, has a 63% positivity rating and 10% negative, plus 53, so quite substantially more than his brother. Americans also had a more favourable view of the Princess of Wales, 49% positive, 6% negative, thus plus 43, and the King, 48% positive, 27% negative, giving him plus 21, than of the Duchess of Sussex, 41% positive, 25% negative, which gives her still a positive outcome of plus 16, which is Somewhat surprising given, one, her behaviours, two, the adverse publicity that she's experienced, not just coming from the UK media. But that is cold comfort for her. Why? Because she comes way down the listing and her popularity is bombing. It's no surprise that she's unpopular within the United Kingdom after the way that she has behaved, but she would have thought that back in the United States, being amongst her people, that she would have huge popularity, that her popularity would be soaring. And this is yet another wake-up call that demonstrates that while she does still have a positive rating overall, it's not that substantial and it's way behind that of other royals. All of this is bad news to a narcissist, because the narcissist not only wants to be the most popular within a particular group, the royals, but also wants to have a very high popularity rating. And the fact that she doesn't have that is going to wound her. The royals with the worst image in America are the Queen, Camilla, and Prince Andrew, who are both regarded positively by 26% and negatively by 33%, negative 7%. They're the only two senior royals with net negative polling. Now, with Andrew, that's understandable as a consequence of his links to Jeffrey Epstein, and probably with Camilla, that this is still the residual effect within the United States of the adoration that existed for Diana. And that's demonstrated because Diana, even though she is dead and has been dead for nearly 30 years, remains the most popular royal because 79% felt popular about her, with her negativity being only a few percent. And with the late Queen Elizabeth, her popularity in positive terms was 73%, with a negative 8%, demonstrating that two of the dead royals rank highest. And so the popularity podium is Diana, Princess of Wales, top, followed by Queen Elizabeth II, then Prince William, then Prince Harry, Catherine, Princess of Wales, King Charles, then this one's wife. Interestingly, she ranks above Princess Anne, Prince Edward, Camilla, and Prince Andrew. One suspects that it's because Anne and Edward probably don't have as notable a profile in the United States. Prince Harry came top in a different category. He was the best known living member of the royal family in America, with 77% saying they were either very or somewhat familiar with him. Next most recognisable member was the King, 76%, then Prince William, 72%. Queen Elizabeth was the most familiar at 81%, Diana, second at 78%. This one's wife came in further down at 59%, again above Andrew, Camilla, Catherine, surprisingly, Prince Edward and Princess Anne. That would give her a small sliver of comfort to be ranked higher in terms of notability, albeit she's more notable than Catherine, probably for notorious reasons rather than necessarily good reasons. Once again, though, even though Harry is the second most popular, the fact is that his association with this one's wife doesn't do him any favours, and her popularity in particular is only slightly positive, which is far below what it should be for somebody who is so well known around the world, and also, of course, for somebody that tries to hold herself out as being kind and empathic, and somebody that assists in philanthropy and charitable works. It shows how many people are not taken in by her attempts to con them. Her popularity has bombed in the United States, and whilst it still remains positive, it isn't by much. And this is bad news for a narcissist, particularly a mid-range narcissist such as this one's wife, who puts out a facade of being a kind and lovable person. News such as this poll, in particular, that she ranks behind the positivity of Catherine and Prince William and even her own husband, is bound to cause some jaw-jutting plate throwing as a consequence of her once again not being top dog. It's not a surprise to you or to I as a consequence of her behaviours, but to her narcissism will dismiss it as a biased poll because it's come from the Times, which is a British newspaper. She won't look into the efficacy of how they've polled people. Her narcissism will tell her they don't know what they're talking about, it's biased, they've got it in for you. And thus she'll nullify that threat to control, essentially by a denial, as she often does, of the facts. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.